And John, who's familiar with living in the desert, who's familiar basically he could make a life out of nothing, eating locusts and wild honey. He could forage in the wilderness, liked sleeping under the stars, liked being out, liked not having anybody kind of hovering over him, didn't have to go to the grocery store to get food, didn't have to manage traffic, any of this stuff, is now stuck in prison. But that's not the problem. It seems like he could very much manage prison if what he was hearing back from Jesus matched what he thought Jesus was going to do. But what he hears instead is that life nationally seems to be going on somewhat like it was even when he wasn't in prison, before he got thrown into prison. That people are still going to synagogues. People are still going to the temples. People are still worshiping. The religious leaders are still in charge. Yes, the Romans are there. But what concerned him more was his own people. It doesn't look as if much has changed. It doesn't look as if God's fixed anything. Here's the Messiah. We've waited a year, and it's still kind of like it was before he came. He sees the works of Christ. He doesn't like them. It's not what he wanted. It's not what he was anticipating. It's not what he was looking for. If Jesus would be basically taking down the Jewish religious leaders, John would live out the rest of his days in prison knowing they were getting their just due. The fact that Jesus is doing different works is the concern. That Jesus is being more gracious. That he's being more kind. That he's being more patient. That he's being slower than what John thinks he ought to be. The problem for John is, why isn't Jesus doing what he thought Jesus would do when Jesus came? Where is the winnowing fan in his hand? Where is the fire? Where is the judgment? That's his question.